look, if you would get help, the help that we all think you need as a community, then we'd stop messing with you. Christopher, you need help. You're sick. And Christopher, if you get help, I will stop picking on you. I will stop. They turned into a bunch of fucking gatekeeping, quote unquote, Heathers and mean girls. You know, if you weren't tall enough to ride the ride, you weren't cool enough to be part of the Turtle Club for these morons. He's doubling down in denial. It seems like he doesn't seem to have a problem. So let the memeing continue, I suppose, huh? All right. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Let's get fucking real.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test. Expect nothing less, you check as I'm chest, what's happening next? You got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just hold an obsession. All in his possession, you got the retention, I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep, move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep on this evening. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me.
I said, I don't even see really the big deal in an email regardless.
Something tells me that he knows what he did can be found out. And that's why he's deflecting from the email subject, right? Because he knows that's the way to prove that they're lying.
I mean, to a certain degree of just trying to wrap something around your neck that isn't there. I mean, it's nonsense. But I mean, hell, the letter was certified and mailed out on January 5th. So start emailing a letter around in March. What exactly is that proving?
Well, see, here's the thing, right? I think the reason why it says March 15th is that's the day I actually opened it, because I didn't.
Nope. Wrong. So if it says March 15th on it, that's the day it was sent. That's probably an email that you sent to yourself or somebody else sent to you a couple months later, which is why it only has one recipient instead of 6, okay? So why are you trying to hide the original email, GS? The original email, the only date that's going to be on it is the date that you received it, not the date you opened it. Okay? I don't know if your program on your end might have something that captures the date that you opened it or something, but it's whenever it's sent and transmitted and received, there's an acknowledgement that it's received, right? From one server to another, and that's it. Then it's in your inbox. That's the only date that's on it, is the date that it was acknowledged as successfully being sent and delivered to your inbox. You sitting here speculating that that's when you opened the email was in March, and that's why that date's on there. Nope, that's wrong. You're just making shit up. You're just lying.
Opened this when I first got it. I don't know. I want to figure out the metrics on figuring out when I first received this. I got to figure out how to do that. The first time I opened.
Then you got to go get the original email. The one with the 6 recipients on it. You'll see them too.
Opened it was March 15th. So there you go, Ryder. You knucklehead. The first time I opened this email was March 15th. And then you can see that I sent it to 3 days later. Nikki asked me if she could have a copy of it. And I said, sure. I said, I'm not touching this.
Wonder if GS is the one that made it up. Because he seems to be the only one that doesn't have the ability to show who sent it to him originally, right? Because it originated in January. There was an email with 6 recipients. He's clearly hiding that. Why is he hiding that? And if he's the only one hiding it, what is he hiding? Is he the one that created it? He was calling Tiffany to find out what they knew while Chris was in jail, to find out what they knew, if they could get away with it or not, whatever. Or, you know, that would be why, right? I'm just saying that's a possibility too, isn't it?
I'm not putting it out. I don't know if it's real. I don't understand the veracity of this message, right? And then she went and sent it to you, and then that's when you all jumped on my ass like I was doing some kind of secret squirrel spy shit, trying to betray you fucktards.
Meaning Chris. Yeah. That Nikki sent it to Chris.
Oh yeah, and then immediately it was like, oh, GS had this. This is exculpatory evidence.
He also heard about it for the first time in court after being in jail for how many days?
He maintained this, so I was languishing in jail, getting fatter on jail food because it was really good. And while he was trying to bang out my wife or my girlfriend.
So he made this up himself so that he could get himself in trouble, is what you're saying?
Friend. Dude, you're so disgusting, dude. I got fucking prime rib, dude. I don't need a fucking hot pocket. I don't need a blown out hot pocket that stains the inside.
And here come the derogatory terms they always resort to.
Inside of a microwave.
So he said the other day on Cliff's stream was the person who had it for months, meaning you.
But he said it was 6 other people.
Well, Cliff and Steph.
I think maybe he was bluffing. I'm not sure. Unless you gotta get further explanation on that. I don't know. I'm not that educated either. I'm not sure. Maybe he does have the ability to see it. Maybe not. Maybe he was bluffing. Either way, he got you to admit that it was true, GS, originally, by doing it.
Stephanie then also had it for months.
Yeah, but you notice how Cliff locks his mouth? Isn't that interesting? What about Stephanie?
Well, I find it interesting that we're not mad at them.
I do think more people have more information and they're not sharing it, but I don't know what that is.
No, not at all.
Why?
Because they didn't have questions.
Because you asked questions.
I'm saying maybe they're a plant too, right? Seems to be a lot of plants here.
And what did Cliff say? That he caught me in direct lies multiple times
Are you throwing Cliff under the bus? Is Cliff a plant?
On the phone with him? What exact lies, Vigilance Committee? What exact fucking lies did you, please, let everyone know, what exact lies did you fucking catch me in? You fucking piece of shit. And then you have the audacity to send me a Happy New Year text message when I told you, fucking lose my number? Fuck you, Cliff Williams. You removed any grace that I could have ever shown you. Matter of fact, you need to never brag about your Ranger tab again, bro. Never claim to be a Ranger. You're the big.
Why? Does GS have some kind of leverage over Cliff or what?
You're the biggest fucking giant pussy I've ever seen on the entire fucking face of the planet. I thought for a second you were going to stand up to Chris Ryder. For a second you were going to tell him he needed to behave on and act like he got some home training on your channel.
He did stand up to him. He asked him exactly what a normal person would ask and put him in his place whenever he thought he was being out of line. He did that. Just because it didn't continue, you got mad because it didn't continue. You didn't see them, coming against each other. So that's what your intent is. That's what you want to see, right? Right, Todd?
For a second, you earned a little bit of respect from me. And then by the time I made it onto your panel, dude, you were fucking slobbing the knob.
Oh, no. You lost GS's respect, Cliff. What are you going to do?
Swallowing down all the gravy, working the shaft, and cradling the balls. All right, so we got 20.
They kept calling me a shill, a simp for a super simp for FPS for Chris Ryder for public safety. No, I don't even go around like supporting him specifically. I just call out the bullshit and the lies. It just happens to be that you're bullshitting and lying about Chris and Tiffany. So I'm going to call out anybody's bullshit and their lies. That's what I do. Sorry if you don't like it.
$20 from Lick the Whole Boot. Thank you very much, Lick the Whole Boot. So it doesn't need to count towards goal. Thank you all for your help and support this past year. Here's some payback.
I'll tell you what, at least, the one thing I can say about them, I give these, the opposition credit. They do support each other pretty well. They do with super chats, with money, with just having somebody's back when they're trying to give a testimony, or a lie. They do support each other very well compared to the 1A community. But you got to remember the 1A community is flushed full of plants. So probably a good portion of the people, the auditors, in the 1A community are not actually, they're not on the same mission.
Back. Remember, folks, support goes both ways. Indeed, if you don't support what you love, it tends to go away. And I make this look easy, right? And if I missed a good question, can you guys let me know? JJ, I
No, you make it easy for everyone else, though.
know you like to scan the chat, so we got Rogue Nation in the channel here. Rogue, were you sent this email? I'm just curious, Rogue. Were you sent this email too?
Somebody asked that.
Are you going to answer?
And it
Stand
was
and
not
deliver.
GS.
Come on up on panel.
I would like to know the six.
Actually, I might have him blocked.
I would like to know the 6 recipients. And Chris knows that. I mean, is Chris saying he can't release it because it's an ongoing case? Then I understand that, and I have patience, and I can wait. You know, table it, visit it at that time. You don't have to go around and jumping the gun and spread misinformation, calling somebody a fraud. When the truth will come out, you just wait for the truth to come out. And then, say less until you know more. Reserve judgment.
Let me see if I do have him blocked or not.
That's how you know the people that refuse to reserve any judgment, and they come out with every speculation they can think possible, and that's all it is a bunch of speculations. They twist the truth and to try to create a negative perception of Chris and Tiffany. And you can't deny that. Come on, that's all you guys do. Paid.
I don't think I would have Rogue blocked. Yeah, I do. No, that's Rogue Nomad. That's somebody pretended.
They said it on the Caucasian Sasquatch said it today on Flow State's panel. I agree 100%. A bunch of other people see it. They all see it. Like, you people wouldn't act this way. This isn't the way normal people act. You wouldn't act this way unless there was a hidden motivation. You guys are clearly, Chris Ruff, like the whole boot. You guys all act like this. There's some hidden variable, right? Hidden motivation. This is not normal activity. In your chats and the people in your chats and your live streams, they're all on the same script, like I guess they're all on the same payroll. I don't know. But it's not normal behavior. People are calling it out. It's easy to see.
Tended to be a Rogue Nation. Yeah, you're not blocked, man. Go ahead.
So somebody else said, Chris said again on the other stream with Cliff, he said, Todd knew he got it from a Kaiser simp.
I have no idea who Chrissy Pammy is. Yeah, how does he know all this shit?
Is he in your email, GS? Did you give him your email password and stuff?
Kaiser?
I'm betting there's somebody that leaked the information to Chris. That would be the most likely scenario.
Yes.
I've never received an email from Kaiser. Well, not knowingly anyway.
Because Chris sure knows enough.
Not knowingly anyway. See how he threw that in there? Because under the court of law, whenever they're questioned, so they don't perjure themselves, they can say, I don't recall. If they know what the answer is, they don't want to lie.
An awful lot about your email.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. He seems to know more about my email than I do. And I'm trying to understand how he seems to know so much.
Porchdicknation@gmail.com. It's not real hard to figure out.
So much about my email. Well, GS, it's easy, man. Even a retard could figure it out. It's just email, GS. Why can't...
He must be right, because according to GS, I'm a retard, right? I'm a Fruit Loop, I'm a Muppet, and I can figure it out, so...
Why can't you figure it out, GS? Well, y'all saw it. You're looking at it right now. It came from one person.
No, that's not the email. Where's the other one? That's not the original email. Come on, quit lying. Come on, do better, GS.
Right here. Here's the original, right?
The original?
Chrissy Pammy at Trisha Dish, right?
That's not the original.
That's it. One person. Two. One person. Me.
Right there. Date. March. That's when it was sent.
That's it.
Not when it was open.
These 6 other people that you claim I should have been able to see because it's right at the top.
Exactly.
Chris Ryder. Can you explain that to your audience right now? All the little lick spittles and the sycophants.
It's not the original email, GS. Come on now. Who are you trying to kid?
And the Riris. Can you explain that to all the people that would sit here and accuse me of being a horrible person?
No, just a liar. That's all. Just a fucking liar. A two-faced fucking snake liar that has no problem lying to people, right to people's faces.
So we're sitting there looking at this. So this is when I opened it, March 15th. It was a Friday, right? At almost 11 p.m. That's usually about the time I would end my live stream. Start at 9, try to end around 11. 2 hours was what my mark normally was trying to be. And here you can show that I was sitting in the back chat with Nikki for about a good half hour after we ended the show, and I showed her this document, and I said, Nikki, I said, if this is true, sitting in the time I would end my live streams.
Okay, yeah, isn't that funny? You received this email, or you opened it for the first time 3 days. 3 days and a half hour prior to sending it to Nikki. Right? Now, I'm curious, what day was the day that you got exposed? What day was that? Was it right after? It must have been right after you sent it to Nikki, I'm guessing.
Start at 9, try to end around 11. 2 hours was what my mark normally was trying to be. And here you can show that I was sitting in the back chat with Nikki for about a good half hour after we ended the show, and I showed her this document, and I said, Nikki, I said, if this is true, this last line, I can't support this guy.
Now you can look right at this document, okay, and you can draw imaginary margins. All right, on the left side's real easy because all the letters line up. You can draw a margin, you connect them, and you make sure that it's perpendicular to the top 2 paragraphs, and you line it up so that it's lined up perfectly, right? And then you go to the other side and you do your best to try to line that one up, but you go off the other line. Just measure across whatever it is at the shortest point, you know what I mean, or the longest point or whatever, with the top 2 paragraphs, and then you put just transfer the mark, right? And that's your margin for over there. If you extend those lines down to the 3rd paragraph, it's not hard to see how it's not the same. It's not lined up the same. Look at it. It's clearly misaligned from the top 2 paragraphs.
If this is legitimate, if this is legitimately what was received by J.J. Scarborough, where he said failure to adhere to this request could also put your...
Meaning, it was edited after it was printed out. You see what I'm saying? If somebody was just making this, if Chris was just making this to begin with, he would have wrote the whole thing with one program. He wouldn't have had to edit his own photo, his own letter. You see what I'm saying? Now, I could be wrong, but I'm looking at it, and it sure as hell looks different than the top 2 paragraphs to me.
Your daughter in harm's way. He already fucking did that. He did that with a Facebook post saying he'd be there waiting in his underwear. So he'd already showed a propensity to be willing to do that, and or the news like Sheriff Wimpy's son. Well, guess what he did? He did a whole expose on YouTube about Sheriff Wimpy allegedly harming his own family, his ex-wife and his own son, and went on for weeks, from what I recall. Right? And it's funny how when I show up to find out whether or not Ryder is going to be found guilty or not, I'm harassing him. Well, hey Ryder, when you and Tiffany Napier showed up at Jamie Knowles' perp walk when he was put in cuffs and got perp walked away, and you were saying stuff to him and you're like all happy about it, pounding your chest like you're the one that put him in jail. Do you think maybe Jamie Knoll would have liked it if you would have just left him alone? Do you think he felt harassed, Chris Ryder? So why is it you get to fucking be up in everyone else's business, but no one else is allowed to be activists or look out for their own, exercise their own rights, Chris? Why are you the only one that's allowed to get them and deprive others of them?
See, it clearly looks like the top 2 paragraphs, the font is smaller than the 3rd paragraph. And it doesn't look like you're looking at the paper from like the bottom up. It looks like you're straight over top of it, looking down at it. So, to me, it clearly looks like that 3rd paragraph was photocopied on there.
I'm calling bullshit, Chris Ryder. You're a poser, you're a pretender, and you're an absolute menace to society. You're a loose cannon, dude. You have made suicidal ideations suggestively to me on multiple occasions, dude. There's a record being made of it. And it's going to get to the point where you're not going to be able to have any fucking YouTube account, buddy. So I hope you have a big backup plan. I hope you get more than 40 hours a week.
Quit spurging. GS, come on, Todd. Quit spurging.
As a handyman. So here it goes to Nikki, March 18th, 3 days later. Here, it goes back to me 2 days after that, because I had to send it back to myself from the sent file, and then I wanted to keep it lit up there because I was talking to JJ and I wanted to send it to JJ. So I sent it to JJ in order for him to get to the bottom of the Scooby-Doo mystery. So there you go. There you go, right there. And this has been sent on to JJ in order for him to get to the bottom of the Scooby-Doo mystery. So there you go. There you go, right there. And this has been JJ. So I sent it to JJ in order for him to get to the bottom of the Scooby-Doo mystery. So there you go.
Okay, what's this? Thank you, and I appreciate the visit today. March 20th, the visit today, huh? 9:20 p.m. So JJ sent this back to Todd. Thank you, and I appreciate the visit today. And he has Outlook for iOS, so he's on his iPhone. That's at 7:30 p.m.
There you go, right there. And this has been sent on. You can see who it's been sent on to right here in this thread. Chrissy, Pammy, Nikki, me, JJ the Jailer, and Mr. White.
So what Chris is saying is that he saw an email thread with this email with Todd's name on it and 5 other people. There were 6 recipients, and he saw this. Somebody showed this. Somebody leaked this to him, so that there was an email thread clearly earlier on that predated Chris's jail time that he spent in here for this, which proves that he had it before Chris even knew what was going on, even knew anything. He had it, and then he sat on it for 2 months. It was 2 months before it even came out, and that's when it came out on YouTube. And it was clear to everybody that GS was a plant.
Mr. Whited. Those are the people that have access to this email. And why shouldn't they?
So, Chrissy, Pammy, Nikki Prince, Todd Bryant, McJailer, McDecky.gov, or Mead.Kentucky.gov. Okay, McJailer, Mead, Kentucky. And of course, you sent it to Ron Whited, right? Of course you did. Of course he got it, right? And so, come on. So he got it too. Why is he even in it? When did he get part of that? Be part of this thread? He's on there. Where's he at? Is this when you sent it to the McJailer? See, like I said, they could recreate this and send it over and over again to different people, to different times, and make it look like that's the original email. It's not the original email. The original one had 6 recipients and had a date on it that predated Chris's jail, the time he spent in jail for this. So try again. GS, you're lying.
So here's the video you're talking about. This is shortly before I came up on the panel.
Lying. You're a liar. I don't believe you. You lie about everything.
So I really do have some questions here.
Yeah, me too.
Right? And my questions are, no one else thinks that this is a little bit...
Like, can you unblock, 2 out of 3 of my accounts, maybe? Like, just 2 out of 3? And not block me every time you make up something and try to spread a lie about me? You know what I mean? And all I do is ask questions, and then I get construed as attacking you guys. I'm just asking questions. Just because the answer makes you look guilty isn't my fault.
Weird. Wow, I got a bunch of messages. Sorry, guys. Live. All right. I don't know if I missed any questions. Am I still live here, guys, or am I going on?
You are.
Okay.
He worked for training people to look, to blend in, right? To look like the Iraqi soldiers or Al Qaeda. Like, he trained people in this. So don't sit here and act like you don't understand how an email thread works, GS. Come on. You ain't fooling anybody.
I have 2 daughters. What? 2 daughters? Oh, you're talking to kill them? Dude, careful when you say that, dude. That might sound like you're trying to hurt somebody's daughter or something like that.
Oh, shut up, GS. As long as you don't do anything wrong, you have nothing to worry about. So as long as you're not talking about somebody's kids with intent to cause them harm, then you got nothing to worry about, right?
I can explain it all. Just give me the link. All right.
Yeah.
No, man, you're a troll. 100% a troll.
That's what he says to people that know the truth.
Let's see. D. Smith, my grandkids call me Popeye. What's up, D. Smith? Good to see you. Hey, Sassy Kisses, good to see you. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? What?
You know, the Cambry County warden, his last name is Smith too, and he's absolutely part of my targeting, and has contributed to the corruption against me and the discrimination against me.
What I just said?
No, I'm listening, but I'm actually looking for something. I'm gonna send you here in a minute, so give me just a minute.
You just let me know. What's up, Killa? Killa, do you want to get up on this? Here, I'll send you the email too.
I'm listening, but I'm actually looking for something. I'm gonna send you here in a minute, so give me just a minute.
So this says that Rogue for public safety says you got his back. Just glad to know. Me too. I'm glad to hear that too.
You just let me know. What's up, Killa? Killa, do you want to get up on this? Here, I'll send you the email too, man. If you're available.
I had a decent conversation with Killa. I just think he's misguided, to be honest. I don't know. I haven't made a decision on that one yet.
Oh, well, no pressure, man. I'll send you the link here in just a second. Let me see. Make sure I copy that. All right.
My thoughts are that I am so sick and tired of hearing about that damn email.
Well, then quit bringing it up, you weirdos.
I don't believe that little letter would have kept him out of jail.
I think you're just all doing damage control because you know that what you did was wrong and you're going to get caught, and you have nothing else you can do but try to make up different narratives for damage control.
Because it had nothing to do with the letter.
Well,
it had to do with his presence.
Actually,
am I wrong?
Yeah, you're wrong. It had absolutely everything to do with the letter.
The letter had nothing to do with the reason why he was in jail. You're right there.
That's exactly what I thought. He was in jail because of trespassing, right?
Among other.
No, he was in jail for threatening. Like they picked him up on. I don't know. They picked him up on a warrant, and then he had his hearing, leaving jail. While he was in jail, they took him to that hearing, right? Isn't that when he found that out?
Among other things.
No, it was actually intimidation.
Intimidating a witness.
Told you.
Okay.
And that was it. Just that's the only two felonies that was arrestable.
That had nothing to do with
So that's why they had to come up with something that would have fit into that category, right?
that letter.
No.
In whatever form.
Yes, it did. That's what you guys used to file the report.
That is correct, because at the time I filled out that complaint, I still hadn't released that letter to anybody. There's only a few people inside the...
Oh, really? Well, where is the record of the chain of custody of that letter then? I would like to see the record of the chain of custody. I would like to show, because there should be one. Any evidence submitted, there should be a chain of custody. There should be, timestamps and different people signing for it, witnesses and all that. There shouldn't be an opportunity for there to be a contradiction in there.
The law enforcement circle that I'm tied to that actually knew that letter even existed. Nobody else had a copy of that until the day of the preliminary.
He can say that all he wants. But there's no way to prove that when the government is corrupt, that they just do what they want. They create those files, so why wouldn't they create it to look how they want?
In our hearing, nobody made a copy of that letter. Nobody else actually had their hands on that letter besides me, unless I showed it to a couple people in the sheriff's office.
Well, then what was the evidence that they had that they used probable cause against Chris? What evidence did they use to get the warrant for his arrest, right, for intimidation? How did that happen? I'm curious now.
And a Commonwealth attorney. Nobody else had that letter alone where they could have made a copy of it and passed it out to anybody.
So I want to be very clear. 1 second. I want to do a house.
It's like they're trying to pretend that never happened. That letter has nothing to do with anything, and that never happened. They're trying to change the story, and they're trying to say that he was charged with intimidation for some other reason now. Is that really what you're trying to do?
Housekeeping here, Rats, and then you can continue if you have questions. Miss Furman, Miss Dawn Furman, understand that
this is a pathetic attempt at damage control, guys. Seriously.
Letter that was delivered to JJ was crumpled up. The letter that was presented outside the Meade County.
That's because JJ crumpled it up.
County jailhouse seems to have been after it was presented to presumably Chris Ryder, and those would not be my thumbs or my fingers holding the paper. That would not be me taking that photo. Well, JJ actually could stand in the exact spot and recreate it by holding up a piece of paper, and he knows exactly in the parking lot where that picture was taken. Now, is there any kind of footage? Can he go back a certain amount of time, find out exactly the day that happened, who was
See, Chris actually shows actual evidence, right? And then you guys just try to invalidate his evidence completely. That's all you're trying to do, but you still aren't producing any evidence of your own. Chris is proving his word. You guys are not.
standing there that took a picture? Well, that would be something that would be worth trying to find out who exactly took that picture. If that was indeed actually Chris Ryder holding it up, taking a picture of that, because the look.
More speculation. I guess the burden of proof is on you, isn't it?
Look on his face when JJ read it out. What I heard is his head snapped back and he looked at Tiffany angrily. That's what the test.
That's their evidence. Well, I heard his reaction when they read it back. I heard this, and that's that's called GS. It's called hearsay, dumbass.
The testimony I heard from people that were there that day, that when that last part was read out, Chris Ryder actually looked surprised.
Hearsay.
So that's why we're wondering. # is Tiffany the Puppet Master.
See, and
is
then
for public safety.
They just come up with a different fucking theory every day to try to do damage control. Anything but the truth that they created it.
Is for public safety the victim?
Yeah.
Who's winding up for public safety and sending them?
Well, yeah. I mean, in actuality, yeah. But on paper, in the court's eyes, no. He's the defendant. But he will be looked at, be considered a victim whenever he's successful in a lawsuit, against the false charges.
Them off to take all the slings and arrows of misfortune. Maybe we're trying to help the wrong person. Maybe we need to have an interdiction, and for good old Chris Ryder. Maybe Chris Ryder is the mentally ill person being taken advantage of by a sociopathical narcissist, allegedly in Minecraft.
Hello.
Wow. I mean, just when you think they couldn't get any lower. Oh, now you're going to say Tiffany's the mastermind evil villain, right? And Chris is just an innocent bystander. And he must be verbally abused behind closed doors, and she probably beats him and everything, right?
So I want to make sure that we understand. But if JJ did not keep the letter and Chris Ryder took it, then how would JJ or anyone else retype the exact? Yeah, that's a good question too. Well, he did record it. He recorded reading that letter, which again was weird on the live stream. And I remember later on going, why was he reading it on the live stream and showing it?
To prove it's called a chain of custody. It's evidence to prove, what he's doing along the way, because he's trying to start the process of holding JJ and them accountable for the behavior that they had been displaying and have been, involved in prior to this date. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing, documenting it. You're a moron.
Making a point of showing it and reading it.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what you do.
It's in order to establish and enter it into video evidence. So therefore, he would have plausible deniability and say, well, why would I send this other letter? You saw what I wrote. This was the intent.
He still is producing way more evidence. Your speculations are so far-fetched, and you guys are producing zero evidence. As a matter of fact, you are suppressing evidence. The truth is obvious for anybody with half a brain.
Right? And so, like I said, that one was crumpled up. So obviously it wasn't even the same page. But go ahead.
Hey, Todd.
Mm-hmm.
I actually sent something to your email that actually.
He's like, hey, Todd, shut the fuck up about my crimes. Can you please quit talking about my crimes on the internet, please? I don't want to go to jail. Come on, I already got in trouble with the Ethics Commission. Please, GS.
I haven't shared with anybody yet.
Okay.
Of course, a couple people know about it, obviously, because I wasn't the one who received it. But
I sent you some new lies to tell. Okay, I sent you an email with some new lies to tell. A couple other people know about these lies too. So go ahead and tell them lies.
this isn't the only one of these that I have, but just do a comparison of the letters.
Now this was sent to him.
I got more fake fraudulent evidence if you need it later on, but this is just some of the fraudulent evidence I got here. Check it out. Spread it around, GS.
Yes. And there's actually a chain too.
Do my dirty work, GS. Spread my fraudulent documents around for me so I don't get in trouble and I can throw you under the bus when I'm done.
To that, to validate all that. So
question is,
and I'll give you some super chats, I promise.
Let me see if I can. Let me open this on.
I was gonna say, can you repin Rogue's comment?
You're my bestest friend, GS, in the whole world for taking the hit for me. Stupid as hell, but best friend in the world.
1 second. Rogue's comment. How far up is it? Can you?
I don't know. It was the one that you had pinned and.
Where he said he received it 6 months and then 6 months later something else. He said right here, Pale, I went over this email 6 months ago. I didn't get it then, and 6 months later, my NC is the same. So he's basically saying I still haven't received it. So then Chris Ryder's a liar. So you're supporting a guy who would lie, not only to everyone that he's talking to, but he would throw you under the bus to try to vouch for him. So he claimed that he sent you all this stuff. Maybe not this letter in particular, but he claimed that he sent you all the proof. All right, go ahead, Ratsmith.
So what did he say there? Rogue Nation said, Pale, we went over this email 6 months ago. I didn't get it then, and 6 months later, my NC is the same. I guess his perspective, I think is what he's meant to say, is the same, or his opinion. And I agree, we haven't seen any other further information since they started arguing about this. If we could see the original email with the 6 recipients, then maybe we could clear some things up. Whoever's, not being transparent, GS, JJ.
To try to vouch for him. So he claimed that he sent you all this stuff. Maybe not this letter in particular, but he claimed that he sent you all the proof.
He even recorded it, and he showed everybody that.
Right, go ahead, Rats. Was there something you wanted to say about that?
I don't know if he showed everybody that, but he did supposedly record it, right? But if he showed anybody, he showed it to the authorities, I guess, right? To my understanding.
No, that's what I wanted to read. I wanted to continue reading it. I didn't get to read the whole thing the first time.
Okay.
But I wanted to point out to him that somebody threw out there that he got it.
Why does he keep on and on, okay? Kelly Brown says, yes, he does. And if he's so scared of mead because it came out of his mouth that night he was arrested, why does he keep on and on? Because the truth is important. And a bunch of Meade County government officials are harassing him and his family online and spreading misinformation and defaming his character. That's why. Just in case maybe you missed that part, I don't know.
Continue reading it. I didn't get to read the whole thing the first time.
Okay.
But I wanted to point out to him that somebody threw out there that he got it.
Well, somebody's speculating. We know 3 people, or we seem to know 3 people. Cliff Williams.
Oh, and there's Karma's Helper, because we know Karma's Helper has never told any lies at all. It was completely unbiased and fair, right? Karma's Helper? Yeah, right. Come on. Rogue, talk to your buddy that keeps attacking people and going into smaller channels to talk trash. You mean to spread the truth is what you mean there, right? Karma's Helper?
Myself, and Stephanie Jenks. Stephanie Jenks seems to be involved in quite a bit this. Well, so does Nikki. That's interesting. All right.
Anytime GS says that's interesting, right? It's something he came up with in his head. He doesn't really believe it. He knows it's not true. It's just one of the fucking stupid, deflection stories that he's coming up with, that he's trying to spread. He knows the truth. That's why anything he says is not the truth.
Let's see. We got
It's so obvious. It's not hard to see.
Let's see.
I don't mean.
I'm pretty sure I sent you the link. I don't know.
I don't mean to put people down and make people feel stupid, but if people don't see that, if they really don't see the bigger picture, then you're fucking stupid. Sorry.
I don't know if you got it or not. You might be at work, or you might not be able to.
Enough. I'm wasting my time even going over this. Everything he just said, they just proved my case and everything I've said right here in this video. They've contradicted themselves. They've spread lies. They've clearly tried to spread narratives that they couldn't fucking actually pull off. It's clear they're just trying to spread disinformation and, while, you know, keeping the truth suppressed. It's just, it's beyond, it's gotten so desperate, it's sad to even watch anymore. So that's it. I'm going to just end it there. Be good or be good at it. Peace out.
So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I want to be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions in the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts. Never waste time, you got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off, what's it you like? Make a dream job, no 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep on this evening. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me.
It's all like that, bitches.
I thought I heard somebody getting ready to say something.
It's all like that, bitches. In the whole motherfucking world.
Stop.
Suck these balls.
All right, okay, all right, let's do this. Let's fucking
Fuck me in the ass.
I'm not
Make me harder. Make me harder. Fuck me in the ass.
stop.